are back in episode 7 of The Elevation on Fan Day Nation. I am Danny Williams, Mark Jackson, Broncos great Geoff Gersh, right here. Coach Gersh is right here.
That's me.
This is the guy right here.
The LLC.
So right before we started the show, Mark goes, are we going to give the number of the show out of every show? Right. Well, this is episode 7. When we think of sevens, we think of rolling that 7. We think of this one's for John. John Elway.
The completion
is the greatest number 7 of all time. Made number 7 cool. What was number 7 before John Elway?
Boomer Esiason.
We will work on the best number 8. We'll work on the best number 8 when we do episode 8. We can only do this for the first 100 episodes. Yeah, that's when we go McAfee or whenever we have to. ESPN's bidding for our services, or we'll worry about that then. Yeah. But from 1 to 100, we'll go and we can start the show. Who is the best 7 of all time? It's John, right? This one. This one's for Pat.
Oh, Mickey Mantle.
Joe Mauer.
Oh shoot.
Joe Mauer?
Joe Mauer.
Very little
another number 7.
Mickey Mantle.
I know any other number 7.
Shoot.
Number 7.
Okay.
Who's
the
7
only
in
way
hockey? There's no hockey 7. Is
77.
The only way we could break this Elway Mantle tie is for the two to have a drink off with scotch. Two of the most iconic scotch drinkers in the history of the National Football League. I'm just kidding. Just wetting our lips.
It's got to be John Elway.
Yeah.
Because he played baseball at Stanford too, didn't he?
He did.
Obviously.
Got drafted by the Yankees.
So I think it's Elway.
Therefore, Circle gets the square. Okay, let's
Joe
move on.
Mauer second.
Episode 7 of The Elevation of Fan Day Nation. That was fun.
Yeah.
Things are happening in the world of sports that are going to make your brain fall out of your skull. We're in the conference finals of the NBA. What happened with the Knicks and the New York Knickerbockers was unbelievable.
Home court.
What's happening in the West? The Timberwolves run off to a 4-point halftime lead and then get smashed in the second half. And it looks like the Thunder are the truth. Okay. So then, also in the Western Conference Finals, I'm ready to tune into the game. I see Coach Malone, my coach, Michael Malone. Hey, don't call him Mike.
You said Post Malone?
No. We don't get
That's the one where he rhymes wreck with wreck.
Yes.
Incredible work, Post.
So you see Coach Malone. Listen. Blue suit, blue tie. He's got some of the plaid checker. Boom, looking good.
Dug his
hair, fresh, no stress. Cheese, a little vino. Oh, my God. Coach Malone looked great on the telecast. And, he said some things that were interesting. He did a good job. Then he goes, hey, we're at the Thunder here, the Thunder Arena, the best fans in the NBA. Power.
Hey, you know what's tough? As tough as that? Reggie Miller calling the Pacers Knicks, right?
Yeah.
So there's some loyalty there. So it's got to be tough for Malone, and it seems like Malone feels a little tainted.
Tainted love.
Dun, 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 dun.
Go on. Why do you think? What's the tainted part?
Well,
would he have been in the same position had the Nuggets advanced?
Innuendos of best fans in the NBA. That's kind of a party line. And Shea is the MVP. That's a party line.
Well, we go to that too. He said Shea, the MVP, all that kind of stuff. When just this season as a head coach, he was saying, Nikola, in any other year, if you took the two guys away and you just was an A and B, like a taste test, and you said this guy had these numbers and Shea kind of had these numbers, it'd be a runaway with Jokic. My little runaway, run away. So then he goes and says that Shea, referencing him multiple times as like the true MVP. Is this TV talk, Mark, or is he bitter? Is he pissed off at Jokic and the organization who treated him badly?
I think a very good combination of both.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's both, man. I think he's new to the post of like being a commentator, so they probably told him, hey, be unbiased. And doing that, I think he's biased.
Okay.
Against The Nuggets.
Would he have taken that position had the Nuggets advanced in Game 7?
No.
Because they didn't announce it till after that game happened.
That's why they didn't.
But why wouldn't he just have taken the position to just be the analyst?
You can't call against your own. It's too
Reggie
fresh.
Miller's
It's
doing
too.
it.
I don't even think ESPN would have the balls to ask him. Of course, the deal was negotiated before.
Yes, they announced it.
But there's no chance he
I
would have
mean,
against
even with those guys. That was 25 years ago.
Right.
I think 25 years from now, Malone will.
And this was
chill
25
out a
days
little
ago. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fair. Because the difference between a million days and a billion days is
a lot.
No, listen, for one, as we're trying to chop it up and get to the bottom of the emotions, playing with my money is
Can't
like
do it.
playing with my emotions. So don't forget Coach Malone was going, Dynasty. Again, be careful what you kind of say and be careful all that kind of stuff. I still feel when I saw him on the telecast, he was like my coach. It was like Coach Malone was like my guy. I was like, but that, you move on. You're hired to be fired. And Coach Malone looked great. He looked like, a president in just one term ages. You're just like, damn, look at those wrinkles. He looked fresh. He's fresh. He's so fresh. He's exciting. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, that's right. Is that cool?
And the gang.
Yeah. So he was looking good, and that's it. Coach said some things that, rubbed us the wrong way around here, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
Because here's the truth. This is the take. This is the take from this. And then we go on to the games itself. If Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets, NBA basketball players, if he would have, said, no, do not. You come to him and they're like, hey, we want to fire Coach Malone. This has gotten bad.
Yeah.
There's guys who can't speak to each other at a professional level. It's gotten toxic.
Right.
We have to fire Coach Malone. He says, never fire my coach. This is my coach. Okay? Or he says, you do what you have to do. You would never get this. Okay? So,
I feel like I'm sitting next to Nikola Jokic.
no, that's what I'm
Pretty
saying.
much. Probably what he said.
Coach Malone.
We couldn't decide.
Coach Malone is pissed at who he thought was like a son to him for not getting his back and saying, don't fire my coach. And Nikola is saying, I'm not the boss here. There's the boss and another boss and 3 other bosses. You do what you have to do, and I'm not going to stop you. When maybe some other superstars would have stepped in and stopped him in one way or the other.
Well, superstars have definitely stepped in and asked for the release of a coach.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many have stepped in and say, don't fire my coach.
Okay, Geoff, where are you at on Coach Malone, like the feeling stuff, all that kind of stuff?
It would be interesting to have seen him be in the same role with Nikola in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
But then he'd be saying the same thing. I think he'd be saying the outright MVP is Jokic, and he'd be saying the best fans in the NBA. I don't think he's wrong in either account. When he says Oklahoma City has the best fans in the NBA, I think he's right.
We have to ask the question
They're hungry. They're thirsty. They only got Oklahoma Sooners football. They got Gundy, who turned 40 20 years ago. Right? He's a man. But that's it. And then they got this Thunder team that's really giving them something to cheer for. The thing
real
about the Thunder that I just don't like the way they play hoops.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah. Boring.
I want to get into that, but let's wrap the Coach Malone conversation up with, and this is good stuff right here. Would Coach Malone have taken this group? Would Coach Malone have taken this group of guys further than interim coach David Adelman took these guys, which was Game 7, this close on the precipice, the cusp of going to the Western Conference Finals? Mark, you start.
Are we going to say yes? Oh, I thought we were going to.
Oh, on 3. Yes, I'll do on 3. Okay, on 3. Yeah, wait.
Yes or no?
Yes, he would have done better, Coach Malone, or no, he would have done worse.
Okay.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, why would he have done better, Mark?
The experience of coaching an NBA team to a championship, I think, you can't translate that. You can't trade anything for that. Edelman was there more of a game manager, kind of like the quarterback that is a game manager. He was not anyone that was going to impact the result of any game.
Are you calling David Adelman Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
Brad
He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Dilfer did.
Well, what were they calling Jokic this playoffs? Coach Jokic.
Coach Jokic, yeah.
Coach Jokic. So there is some of okay, we got to fire one guy, and the next guy up just has to kind of maintain things until a new coach is there. But I think if Coach Adelman wins that series, it's his job. It's his job.
Here's my take. Here's a quick one.
Okay.
If they had come, different world. they come to Malone and say, man, we're about to fire you. What can we do to keep you here? I think his attitude and his mindset, I don't know. It seems like
what would he have said to save
a total surprise to him.
No, what would he have said if they would have said that?
Whatever he said.
We're here to just we're about to fire.
The point is,
telling you
right, it's straight.
What he said means nothing. But the way he would act afterwards,
you say, hey,
mean everything. I'm going to prove to you guys
one more time. We're going to
I'm
fire
the best coach in the NBA, and I'm going to take this team to a championship.
Okay, aren't you doing? And still, hold on, real quick.
Yep.
Aren't you cutting his balls off?
Whoa!
Didn't you just cut Coach's balls off, and now you got to be a kiss ass and bend over and try to work with Calvin Booth? And
you're fired at the end of the season, my friend.
Oh,
thanks for being the winningest coach in our franchise history. You're fired at the end of the season. Want you to know that. So go out and win this damn thing. Do this one for Mike.
This one's for Stan.
Russ.
No,
Russ. Okay,
for Mike. He'd do it for himself.
Okay, that's great conversation. That's good stuff. To piggyback Tiny.
Why do you guys say no?
I say go, but to add to your yes.
Okay.
The experience factor of what the Nuggets had accomplished over the journey, peace be thy journey. Over the journey, the winning all the playoff games, the hoisting a championship is what kept them in this series against a Thunder team. Maybe a coach with that as well could have added a little something to which maybe would or wouldn't have been. The gap was so big.
All they needed was a little something.
No.
They win game 3.
The gap was this big in game 7.
They win game 4 and go up 3-1.
The gap was this. The gap was this big in game 7.
But I don't know if they get
Coach Malone could have maybe made the gap this big.
I think we go to game 7.
It was too toxic. I think they don't even get out of the LA series.
Hold on.
They might have been in the playoffs.
That was a hard.
Hold on.
Dude, Adelman came in and had to win 3 games at the end of the year just to get him out of the play-in.
Mark just said the most provocative thing on the podcast so far.
I don't even know what it means, but it's provocative.
He said Coach Malone would have won this series in 6 or less games.
Yeah. They're up 3-1.
What the fudge, Brown? Tell me more.
They're up 3-1. And the game that was probably the most decisive.
It was 2-2.
That's right about to go 3-1, right?
It was about to go to 3-1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you're saying it goes to 3-1 with
that's a home game.
Okay.
That was a home
game. I didn't want to go down that road.
That's a home game.
Woof.
Guys, we're at home. We got to defend our home. Malone was very good at that. Very good. Take that L on the way out with me.
Yeah.
Whoa, Mark.
Yeah.
There's some people who believe that kind of stuff. Here's what I think. Maybe you're getting into a place where I'm thinking the Nuggets had no business being in 7 games with that team that won 68 games.
Rudderless.
Freaking talented. One of the most talented young teams in the NBA in 5, 6, 10 years. The comp is the Durants and the Westbrooks and the Surges and the Hardens. That's the comp. So were the Nuggets just in over their heads, had no business being there? Or are the Nuggets a Caruso, CJ McCollum, and Bobby Portis away from beating that team and going to the NBA Finals and winning against the Knicks or the Pacers who are going to beat each other up through 7 games of what's going to be a wild one?
Very wild.
Wild.
You want to take that?
Weird, wild stuff. I want to know who you want to be the next head coach of the Nuggets if the guy's name is not Adelman. Because there's some interesting names out there, but the one that keeps popping back in my mind is
Phil Jackson. No? Sorry.
The old Prince of Park Hill. How do we get the old King of Park Hill, I should say?
Yeah, Chauncey from
Billups.
Portland. Phillips. We can't trade any first-round picks for him. We have not.
Whomever they pick.
He can get fired and hired here. Chauncey here. Chauncey.
They're going to need Zion Williams.
Listen, Chauncey had Portland playing good ball the most of the season, definitely down the stretch of the season. He's got all young guys. Simmons, he's got Scoop Jackson. He's got another young kid, too, who's good. Give me a second to think about it, but he had them playing like big boys and pros, and I think he turned the corner. I think they extended him.
He's a point guard, too. It's like having Steve Kerr or having Jason Kidd.
He was in a no-win situation. Yeah, because you trade Dame, when you thought you can win with Dame, And I'll tell you that Dame Lillard or Chauncey to Denver stuff is unique and interesting. It would not be 1 year off of that, though, because Portland's ascending right now, Jeff.
There's plenty of names. Doc Rivers and Nick Nurse.
Well, yeah, the Boot and
I mean, you could plug in whoever you want to as coach. If they don't, in the front office, mix it up, get a star. Someone that can take a little pressure off in Nikola, switch that thing up. I'm sorry, MPJ. Loved you was one of the guys that was a big MJP supporter. MPJ. Damn, I'm going to get it right. See? I forgot his name already. That's terrible.
Call him Michael Porter Potty Jr.
I mean, that's another Edelman back.
Only ballers get like a TB12, bro.
But, you scored 2 in 2 games and, basically shooting 15% from behind the three, which was your attribute or your, the power that you had in your game. You got to put that guy down. Set him down, man. Let him rest.
Set that bull out to pasture a little bit.
Okay. Dre Jordan.
Go trade him for Chauncey Billups.
We are going to set up a break here. I think where we went down the road there with the Nugget stuff, the hire, the Coach Malone stuff was super unique. We'll wrap up, where we think the conference finals, both East and West, are headed, and just a little recap of already the game ones in that series, which have been pretty good, even in the blowout. Again, the Timberwolves were up 4.5. But I want to mention Niko Stones. Okay?
Oh,
check this out, you guys. I wasn't supposed to say anything, but now it's out there. Word's out. They have this new Essentials collection, or as I'd like to call it, the Essentials collection. Oh my God. It's a little bit of everything. You got these bracelets, okay? You got these just earrings. This is designed by the finest. The price is right. I always I justify spending money on jewelry it's like money in the bank. It's jewels. It's
great.
Time. They'll go to my daughters.
And emotions and stories.
They'll go to my
memories.
daughters.
They go to daughters. No, the great thing about Niko Stones that I like is you can mix and match these things. So it's a collection. So bracelet, earrings, matching, pot of pang. I know that you love the women.
Absolutely love them.
That are coordinated. And you have an opportunity to not overthink things.
Yeah.
Niko Stones. They put it together for you. Don't have to figure it out.
Beautiful woman.
Not only is it essential, but it's intentional.
Intentional.
At Niko Stones.
Well, listen, whether you're on the last one here, because we got it, whether it's dressing up, dressing down, or whatever it is, you want to have that bling, a little of this, cha-cha-cha-cheese, all that kind of stuff. Niko's is the best, okay? So go check those. They're a partner of ours. We really love those guys. Go check them out. That's it. Go see what they can do for you, because the holidays and the graduation stuff, of course, it's right there.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at, Mark?
NikoStones.com.
Is that your balls, Danny, cut off? I picked it up a long time ago.
Get those back on there. Danny Williams, Geoff Gersh, Broncos icon, Mark Jackson. Hold on. Yeah. This guy right here.
Campeón.
It's the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. I am D-Dubs. We'll be back on
the other side.
We are back in. It's the LA edition, episode 7 of the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. Mark Jackson right here, Geoff Gersh. I am Danny Williams. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate you guys.
Like, share, comment.
Yeah, any way you consume it. Interaction, the participation. They're the OGs who have been with us forever, and then anyone who may have stumbled upon the podcast. Thanks for being with us. My brothers.
We heart you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we're living together right now. We're getting our lives together.
Right now.
Had Vaughn and Johnny Manziel.
That's Johnny
Something
Manziel,
like that.
Not Manziel.
Manziel.
Yeah.
Kubiak, man. Aggies, me, man.
Gary Kubiak.
Okay, so we just did, I thought, some really exciting and unique NBA stuff that you can't find nowhere. Okay,
No.
Literally nowhere. But
Can't do it.
we're versatile. We don't do traditional sports talk radio per se. What we do, we consider performance art.
Yeah.
We just happen to specialize in sports and podcasts,
Right.
like that. So
It's an art.
we're going to transition here to the Denver Broncos, okay? So as mini camps, OTAs, and training camp just around the corner. We're through May, June. It's like you really start thinking about football again.
Yeah.
So as we get to that certain point, the pundits, the national guys, right here, we've heard everyone's take, every station, every TV guy, every podcaster. We've heard the takes of where they see the Broncos projecting. But now, like, the national guys are starting to either get on board. We're starting to hear from Bo Nix as the number 5 ranked quarterback of the entire league to Fox saying what, Mark?
Hey, Broncos win the AFC West.
To Fox saying,
Sorry, what?
Yes.
Say it again one more time for the people in the
One more
back.
time. Loud and proud. With
Broncos win the AFC West.
That's wild, unbelievable kind of stuff.
Oh.
And we know every single year, a year in the NFL, one team goes from worst to first, from first to worst.
Yes.
And everything in between. So we'll play a little game here. Okay, I want to play a game that is basically best case, worst case situation with the 2025 Broncos. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to start with Mark. He is a football professional. He played many years, went to Super Bowls, and he has the right answers for us as usual. So
All the
Mark,
right answers.
we went through we went through the schedule as a whole, predicted it.
Yeah.
And we did a great job of that. So after knowing who they played, what the schedule looks like, I need your absolute, don't give me your worst case. I want your best case situation for the Broncos. Record, playoff situation, AFC championship. That's it. Go, Mark.
Broncos, best case scenario. So I think it was episode 5 or 6? We actually went through the schedule, as Danny said, and we all wound up with the same record of, what was it?
11-7,
10-10.
or 10-7, or 11-6.
11 and
That's
6.
what we're flirting with.
So 11-6 was the number I think that Danny and I wound up.
Yeah.
And we different routes to get there. But here's the
Yes, we took different ways to get there.
in that particular scenario, I was being more realistic instead of optimistic. So Danny asked for the optimist glass half full.
Okay. Therefore, such
Season,
as.
such as,
What are you
therefore,
thinking?
in this case, an antithesis
Yep.
that maybe the Broncos could be 13 and 4. 13 and 4, the third seed in the AFC behind those
Okay, hey.
pesky Buffalo Bills.
Go, girl. Okay, but I'm going to say this. Take it further. They're 13 and 4.
Yeah.
They're does that make them a 1 seed or a 2 seed in the AFC going into the playoffs?
1 is the only one that gets a bye, so you want that one.
No.
2 is
Tell
just
me,
the
Mark.
same as.
Tell me.
They're not a 1 seed.
They're a 2 seed.
So they got to get
Okay.
3 W's to get to the Super Bowl.
With the 2
Yes.
seed, and again, this is the ceiling here. This is the best case situation for the 2025 Denver Broncos. Best case situation. This is the ceiling. Or as Jordan would say, the ceiling is the roof. So that's supposed to make sense.
And the roof is on fire. I think he said. I don't know.
Got no water.
He ain't got no water.
Okay, so anyways, so then what?
Then what?
Then what?
Man, I
They're
didn't,
13
I
and
didn't
4.
dream that far. No, 13-4
Yeah,
on to the
go.
playoffs.
Playoff win? They haven't done that yet with Bo Nix.
That's it.
First round win.
Okay.
Second round.
Buffalo Bills, we'll say.
Only the 1 seed gets a bye.
Oh,
We'll say you're playing the Bills. They're like,
no,
because you're going to be a wild card if the Chiefs get the 1, let's just say.
no, the Chiefs not
Or
getting
are you
the
going to
one.
get the division?
I don't have the Chiefs as the 1.
Okay.
So
Like
if
the
I'm
Bills.
being
He has the Bills
optimistic,
as the 1.
the only way that the Broncos get to the 3 seed and go 13 and 4 is to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, the Bills would have to be, and like the Ravens.
Bills in 1 or 2. Ravens 1, Bills 2.
In your situation,
Broncos
the
the
Broncos
third
would have to
seed.
be the 2 seed.
They're the 3rd seed.
So they play that Ravens, let's say. If
Yeah.
all top seeds advance, they'd play the 2 seed. 2, 3, and 1, 4.
No, you're playing the
In
3rd seed's
theory.
playing the 6th seed.
Right, but I'm saying if you advance to that, if you gave them 1 win in the first round,
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
and then they had to get to the second round to get to the conference final.
Right.
Why
That would
can't
put 'em
they be
against
the
the
1
Ravens
seed
or
in your
Bills.
13 and 4 world? Why?
They can't beat the Ravens. The Ravens, I think the Ravens are the odds-on favorite
To you.
to be the 1 seed.
Okay.
Well, don't forget
It's their
about those
time.
tush pushers up in Western New York.
You think it's their time?
Yeah, and the fact that, I think that the Buffalo Bills and the Ravens are better teams. I really don't believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are a better team. I think they're a burnt-out team. We saw a team in the Super Bowl that just looked tired. They looked like the Denver Nuggets in that series against OKC. They just look worn out, and it's tough to win 3.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Statistics tell us that in the NFL,
Hold on. I'm going to run those
teams don't
numbers
win
one
3.
more time.
Go beyond.
Boop, beep, beep, boop, doop, beep, beep, boop, boop. I got the same numbers.
Okay.
It's statistically impossible.
I got a ceiling and a roof for you guys to think about.
Okay.
Okay. And it doesn't really have to do with numbers. It has to do with literally the ceiling and the roof of your defense, the safety position.
All right.
Okay. Kind of covering the back end. When's the last time you had a no-fly zone? That's when we had some badass dudes on the back end keeping it strong so that the Von Millers of the world could get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So that the front 7 can get dirty. I mean, the front 7 here in Denver is filthy, but if you can get, a TJ Ward back there, someone holding it down that's physical, I think when I think more about the Broncos, we know they got the cornerback position covered.
Yeah.
We know their linebackers are sweet. Zach Allen's doing some stuff on the line. It's nice. Those 2 guys, free safety, strong safety. If those guys are strong,
I'm strong. Are you strong?
I'm strong. If you're strong, and then we strong.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, you got Zach Allen, Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito.
Riley Moss.
No, I'm just talking about edge rushers.
Front 7.
DJ Jones, Jonathan Meyer. Or John Meyer.
Cooper.
You've got
Cornerbacks get sacks. You know what I mean? Cornerbacks get sacks for linemen.
I think it's a combination when you look at the edge rusher and the cornerback position or the defensive backs position. They work in tandem. So, if you have great coverage in the secondary but no pressure, pat, you can't cover for 6 seconds.
I'm ready for my max prediction.
No one can.
Even this Stanford right here, think about John Lynch, right? Not only John Elway, but John Lynch, Stanford boy. I mean, he
talking about the safety position.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
just a guy.
We have an all-time great listener, Max Payne, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a max prediction for you.
Go
We're talking
Sports.
about upside. What's the possible highest upside for the Denver Broncos? I'm ready. 13-4, winning the division. Okay.
Yeah.
1 seed in the AFC gets you the bye for the Broncos.
Nice.
Okay. You get somehow the Texans, the Bengals on a bad day, maybe weathers an equalizer in the divisional round. Okay.
Yeah.
You win that game. You go to the AFC Championship game if you're the Denver Broncos. Okay. You go to the AFC Championship game.
As home favorite, as a home field
It
event.
don't matter. That's as far as this group of young guys and Sean Payton could go.
Ooh.
I'll take that to the bank, Senator. The blood bank. Okay.
All right.
I'll take that to the bank. And if that's the max that's the defense carrying, but also the Broncos offense getting to 25, 26, 27, and they're just, your defense doesn't allow 20, and they score 25 a game. And the defense is one of those chip-ins, 4 or 5 games where they're scoring some points. Certain crazy thing is about the NFL and the football as a whole. It is what, guys? What do we say about the football? It's what? It's shaped funny and bounces weird.
Oblique.
So the tips, the fumbles, the turnovers, the Broncos create that kind of stuff. They can win 13 games max, go to an AFC championship game, and probably max out. At that point, the offseason's about adding Super Bowl-type veteran pieces in free agency, and only then competing and have aspirations in 2026 to win a Super Bowl.
There you go. 2 years.
And when Mark says,
I like that.
It's up for the Kroenke ownership.
I said it.
To add something to Jokic. There's still time actually before training camp and even before the season starts to add 1 or 2 more nice free agents that help you out.
Right. Guys get cut.
So what do you think? Like running back like a Chubb or there's some guys that are still out there, right?
Dobbin's still out
Running
there?
back book?
Or did he
You
get
have a running back
signed
book?
yet?
Hey, speaking of Chubb, shoot, my Bronco stuff just made me. Luckily, I'm not wearing sweatpants today.
Yay!
I am wearing sweatpants today. Watch out, guys. I don't want to poke anyone's eye out.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Jeff, you're up here. I need your max prediction here for the Broncos season as a whole, and then we got to go down low for a worst case situation.
Well, the max would have to be winning the division. That would just be, I mean, if you can do that in and of itself, that is a great
Do you have a record to put behind that?
accomplishment. I don't think 12 is going to do it, so I do think 13 is going to need to get you there.
Okay.
And then in terms of playoffs, Bo hasn't won a playoff game. Sean and Bo haven't won a playoff game. Sean hasn't won a playoff game in Orange. You got to get at least one. So if we're really talking about actual maxes versus dream maxes, the dream is obviously conference finals. Give me a shot to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, put me in that Final Four. Right. But I think if you can really have your sights set on, I'm eating Christmas dinner and trying to watch my team play for the division championship, that turkey's going to taste a lot better. That ham's going to be sweet.
What a dream. What a life.
Yeah.
I'm in love.
Take that data.
Love it.
Okay. Now, on the flip side.
Sadness.
We are Irv and Joe descendants, and sometimes you have to do doom and gloom radio and podcasts. A worst case situation for the Broncos. A worst case. Check this out. My worst case is not too bad of a situation. My worst case is the Broncos win 9 games, 8 to 9 games. For one, 9 won't get you in the playoffs. Therefore, 8 won't get you in the playoffs, obviously. But if Bo Nix and the Broncos were to, say Bo Nix throws 31 touchdowns and 11 picks, 4,000 yards, rushes for 4 or 5 touchdowns, the offense is just a banger. They're losing some shootouts. That ball isn't bouncing their way, but you're seeing, man, they got Vele has 60 catches on the year and has emerged as a number 2. Cortland Sutton again, 10 touchdowns again. They found another couple of receivers. Evan Ingram gave them 8 touchdowns and looks like, man, they're building a juggernaut of an offense. By the end of the year, they're a top 7 offense, a top 10 defense, but their record only shows 8 and 9. That's a worst case situation. Wait, hold on. I can live with. Thanks, Mike.
Pick up that mic you just dropped.
Man, that was
just kidding. It's attached to your head.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go, Mark. Give me your worst case situation for the Broncos.
It's hard to do.
That's a good place to be, though, right? For a worst case for the Broncos, don't you feel like they've laid that ground down, that floor down?
Yeah, worst case scenario
is what?
I'm still saying worst case scenario, they're over the 500 mark. So they're 10 and they're 9 and 8. 9 and 8.
Yeah.
In a worst case scenario. And some of the teams that I picked them to win, I'd say split now with the Chiefs or split with the Chargers, I should say. Split with the Raiders. So those are 2 losses that I did not give them. And my first prediction, is that something, worst case, I don't even like thinking worst case, Danny. I'm not sure why you brought that up, but I guess I have to answer. Worst case is they never really get the offense on track. I think the defense is going to rock. I really believe that Vance Joseph has done a great job in orchestrating the defense, playing with what he has. We have the edge rushers. He added another piece with the first-round pick, Jade. I think the defense is going to rock. What we've had issues with is consistency on the offensive side. So in the worst-case scenario, Bo Nix has a sophomore slump, and the offense never gets on track.
Okay.
Man, you said it with those 2 words, sophomore slump. That is the worst case scenario because if the running game, if there's a lot of pressure is put on the running game, it's never been tested, so we don't really know what that's going to look like. If Bo Nix can take the pressure off the running game, that'll help the running game. But if you're making it, if you know you're 8 games in, 9 games in to a sophomore slump and they're giving it to Bo and saying, beat us with your arms, beat us with your legs, and he can't, that is the definition of a 6-11 season.
I didn't want to let myself go down that road. I think that the maturity of Bo, the athleticism, and just the mind of Sean Payton is going to have Bo successful in production and numbers way.
I think we go back like we did before.
If I didn't want to go down a dark road and say the worst case situation is 7 wins, Bo's 22 or 23 touchdowns against 14 or 13 picks. It's kind of a mess. There's no answer at receiver other than Cortland Sutton. The Evan Ingram stuff, maybe he's a 30-year-old tight end, didn't work as well as we thought. The defense wasn't as good as last year, and that's a real regression. I think they did jump 2 or 3 steps to win 10 games and go to the playoffs last year. They kind of skipped a 9-win year where they have some numbers but didn't go to the playoffs. So I don't want to go down that dark road because I am a believer. Sean Payton's given me no reason not to believe in what's happening here. I'm going to believe that kind of stuff. But there's an ugly worst case situation that we're probably not going to go down that road, because I do believe the Broncos have, it's like the foundation is laid. It takes time to build the house and all that, but it's like, it's not dirt. It's not dirt in a hole.
How many Super Bowls have you been to, Mark?
3 Super Bowls.
3 Super Bowls. And how many Super Bowls have the wide receivers from the Broncos been to?
Let me see. Hold on.
The wide receivers for the Denver Broncos.
Current.
0.0. What's your point?
What's the question? The question is, why didn't Bo Nix send an invite to you to his wide receiver camp where he's going to get the guys together? Bo Nix is getting the wide receivers together. He's a great leader.
He did. Mark told him.
I have to stop you right there, Geoff.
But he told him we had the podcast
I did get
to do.
the invite.
If I was Bo Nix, I'd send the first invite to Mark Jackson to teach these guys how to get to a Super Bowl, okay? And then, invite Pat Bryant and Cortland Sutton too. I'd say bring Marvin Mims as well. But if you don't have this guy, how you know how to get to the pinnacle?
Well,
think about that, Bo Nix.
You know, Geoff, I think that maybe you need to
back off.
Hold on. Actually, do you know why they asked you? Check this. Hold on, Geoff. They did ask Mark a few years ago. He went in and talked to the new draft guys, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to have him back after this. There's a little bit of grainy video of this. But he told right away, he goes, guys, when you go out on the town, you got to have a fall guy. Remember when Chris Carter. Chris Carter.
He's talking to the
went to all these rookies and goes, not like keep your nose clean, keep your head in the playbook, all that. He goes, hey dog, you're going out, you're getting in that trouble. You got to have a fall guy.
That's exactly.
And then
what I
you know
told
what? Chris Carter was, I think, fired by the NFL Network a short time later.
Yeah, well,
and the rest
is history.
80 CC.
Yeah,
let's go to break.
Thanks for that doom and gloom. I like the upside. I think
trying to keep it real, right?
Yeah, I think we all.
Because we're keeping it real.
Broncos can be less than 500 again.
Okay,
you don't think so?
The rest of their
existence
in the end.
Well, you lived during a time when they never went under 500 over like 3 times in a 30-year span.
Since 1977.
Yeah, it was like 77 to 2003. They went under 500 3 times.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So you're familiar with that. This is unfamiliar territory. But with the good comes the bad. With the yin comes the yang. I think
I like it. I like
the light with the dark. You know, without light there is no dark.
Whoa! Did you write that?
I think it's in the Bible.
Well, you can't measure darkness. It's only a lack of light.
Is that in the Bible?
You can't measure coldness. It's only a lack of heat.
Is that in the Old Testament?
Yeah.
This is the New Testament.
It's brilliant.
Okay, check this out really quick.
John.
Oh, you're putting me right in there. Okay. Yeah. They're not a sponsor or a partner in this podcast. But we are going to Cooperstown, New York. Okay. Yes. JJ's team to play in a 12U tournament. It's the biggest tournament for 12-year-olds in the whole country. There's hundreds of teams coming from Denver and Colorado like every single year to this tournament. Okay. So how this thing got to put together was, everyone's kind of scattering. We had one tournament drop, therefore we're going to Cooperstown and doing something else. So we're scattering for somewhere to stay. Okay. So I was calling around looking for hotels, and they're booked out. Mark. Okay. So we got this Old World Village. Okay. We hit this place. It's called Old World Village. It's 40 acres.
Wow.
Cottage. Hey, I never thought I was a cottage guy.
Fireplace.
Never thought I was a cottage guy. So we're staying at this cottage. It's called the Old World Village. It's in Maryland, New York. Sounds weird, and it's super close to Cooperstown. They have a giant lodge for a whole town.
Yeah,
and they have these cottages and a chalet.
That's
pronounced chalet.
I'll say, my bad, a chalet. So anyways, if you're going, there's people who are going to Cooperstown. They're going to, Jeff's going to be going to Cooperstown next year with his kids and his fam, okay?
Right.
I told him that they got to go book with these people, and they're just great, and they got 40 acres. I'm looking forward to look at these pictures. Old World Village, you got to check it out. And that's it. I just want to shout them out. That's it.
All right.
Danny, Mark, and Geoff back on The Other Side. We are back in final segment, episode 7. It's the Elway edition of The Elevation on Fan Day Nation. Mark Jackson, Jeff Gersh, I am Danny Williams. We went through 2, I thought, banger segments there. We had some great NBA discussion, some Nuggets discussion, some conference final stuff, some Coach Malone stuff. We went to the Broncos, gave some best case, worst case situations just right now as we stand before training camps, before injuries, before cuts, before the elevation of players or guys, maybe get cut out of nowhere, maybe a veteran guy or two. We're going to have some fun with that stuff. But this week, the the owners approved their players playing flag football in the 2028 Olympics, which will be in where?
Los Angeles.
Las Vegas.
City of Angels.
Yes,
that's right.
City of Angels. City of Angels. Only as I am together with bound into flee. I don't ever want to be.
That's so. You sound like Darius Rucker there.
Anthony Jackson or Mark.
You sounded like Hootie there.
Damn, and the
Blowfish.
Kevin.
Okay, so they approve flag football. Guys,
a free gold medal for that.
So Tariq Hill says, I want to play.
Guys such as Justin Jefferson
Patrick Mahomes
said it'd be a dream for him to win gold.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay, right?
That's unique. That's a once in a lifetime. Maybe.
I don't know if Tyreek Hill will still have that kind of speed and be that kind of player. He'd be a perfect flag football player right now.
Yeah.
But 25, 26, 27, 28, in 4 more years. A guy whose whole game is built off of speed. Percy Harvin and Deshaun Jackson didn't play late into their 30s. They played till about 30. Look at those comps.
Look at you, mean guy.
Love that Percy.
Justin Jefferson may be able to play in that Olympic team. Therefore, I personally believe that I would like to know your guys' dream NFL Olympic flag team. And I'm going to ask you to put the team together right now, but let's talk about position by position.
Okay.
Let's start with quarterback.
Well, the funny thing about the dream you mentioned before we get into the position by position is when Mark was a kid in the backyard, he never dreamed of playing in the Olympics.
No.
Because it wasn't a thing.
No.
When Justin Jefferson was a kid in the backyard, he never dreamed of playing in the Olympics.
Didn't do it.
But this kid, little Gio, he can grow up and be 15 years old and dream of playing football.
I'm going to beat that Brazilian.
How sick is that?
My little Gio's going to beat that Brazilian.
We play football too, Brazil. We also play football, Brazil. The Americano.
Yes.
Americano.
Who's your quarterback? Your number one
quarterback? Who's your dream? Who's your dream? Who's your dream quarterback?
Oh, man, you can't go wrong. We got a lot of them.
I only have one. Highlander.
Jeez.
Hold on.
Joe Burrow?
Who's your right now guy?
Oh, 3 years from
And who's your 2028 guy?
Wow.
My right now guy, I think I still go with Mahomes. But you can't lose with Jackson. You can't lose with
Kyler Murray. Shifty, low to the ground, strong.
Show me Kyler Murray's birth certificate. I want to see he was born.
Yeah,
Kyler's stout and strong.
I mean, that's what you need for flag football. And I've played some flag football. I love playing flag football.
And tell me more.
Turkey Bowl every year. You want a guy that has the shiftiness, like you said, because when there is a rush, so the ability to elude would-be rushers and still throw accurately down the field. And
sounds like you're describing.
Okay, hold on, time out.
Watch this. University of Wisconsin River Falls intramurals.
Go play intramurals, brother. Listen, Mark, who's more valuable on the flag football field? More dangerous, more elusive, more hard to pull a flag? Kyler Murray is just a one-o guy, or big-ass Josh Allen, who's going to run.
I like Josh Allen for running.
But is Josh Allen too big and bulky and grab that flag off that big cat? Isn't Kyler or Lamar Jackson a little more cut out for the part? You tell me.
Yeah, I agree. I concur with him.
Okay. I think I got the perfect mix of big and shifty.
Who?
Just 5 letters.
5 letters.
Nick.
Well, you said now and then. So
he's born in America, right?
Now, so 3 years from now,
USA.
He may be the guy. He may be.
What else has 3 letters? Knicks and USA. USA.
That's true.
USA.
Both have 3 letters.
Because Bo's proud to be an American. Where's football?
Yeah. So.
Is there someone we're forgetting? Jalen Hurts, maybe?
Jalen Daniels.
3 or 4 more years of wearing
Jalen Daniels. Yeah.
What about Arch Manning?
Oh, what about Cam Ward? Hey, Cam Ward?
Shador. Hey, Shador or Shadon?
Shador.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, let's move on.
We never agree on anything.
Running back.
Saquon, the backflip guy. The backwards spin.
Running back.
I got my flag running back. You ready?
Jaleel.
R.J. Harvey.
R.J. Harvey, you went to the next level. Ow! I'm talking about now.
Is
You
Saquon
said now
going to be
and
Saquon
then.
in 3 years?
Well, that's what you said. You said now and then. So, yeah, okay.
What about Ashton?
Listen, we know
You need someone that's quick and that can catch the ball.
I got a guy, and we know
can't pick rookies.
we know that Christian McCaffrey drinks up a grande cup of Starbucks daily. It's like a supercharger for his ass, and he can run as fast as the Flash.
Forgot about that.
What I'm saying is, by that time, all these running backs, they ain't gonna be. Derrick Henry ain't gonna be on the flag team, dog.
No, not
who's the
Derrick
next guy out there? Who is he?
Won't be there.
Who is it? John.
Yeah.
John Robinson.
That one, yeah.
The Bijan. Who the
Bijan.
Raiders? Ashton.
Ashton
I can't spit it out.
Yeah, it's hard. That's
Could
a
not
hard one.
spit it out.
Who named their kid
It's
Ashton?
a Raiders thing. I hate you.
Oh, hey, how about this? What if Cam Scadaboo is just a legendary flag football player?
Damn.
No? Too much Allstott? All right.
Damn.
J.J. McCarthy.
Can't. Then we can go. Cam. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Cam. Dun dun dun. Cam. Sorry. Receivers.
Justin Jefferson.
Receiver's going to be the best running. Running back's going to be the best young running back at the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Receivers. Now we're in an area we can kind of play with. Do you want a Jamar Chase? Do you want a Justin Jefferson? Do you want an elusive Marvin Mims Jr.?
No thanks. Mark, do you think, who are you looking for?
I like them all, man. I don't think you can go wrong at the receiver spot. That's an
We got
easy-
receivers for
If,
days.
yeah,
Easiest
if
one.
you want to pick someone, that's an easy one or a hard one. Depends on who you want to single out because quickness is important, but the ability to jump and win the one-on-one battle in flag football is very important.
Is the receiver more important than the quarterback in flag?
Oh, absolutely. I think so.
Okay, so check
I think
this.
so. Yeah, absolutely.
Danny, receiver wide
In
receiver
flag?
more important than quarterback in flag?
I don't know because your running back is a receiver in flag.
But my point
Your
is,
quarterback.
just QB is obviously more important in NFL football.
Yeah.
But in flag, you need like 3 receivers. You need some,
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
right?
Do you want little fast guys or lanky
So
big guys?
to your point, you
It's
can
almost
get
like
a
ice
Josh.
hockey on Nintendo.
That's
You have
hard,
to take
man.
a skinny guy, a medium, and a
Josh can play in flag as long as you have great receivers that are getting open quickly.
Okay, let's do this. We'll wrap the show up with this. Okay.
Yeah. You're at the defensive side. Pat Surtain. That's actually out there right now. That was actually a little article that was written.
Well,
I
is
mean,
it
his
all
ability to cover.
It's all corners,
Same
right?
story.
Yeah.
It's all secondary.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not having line. Do you have some linebackers out there?
You might have.
Who are your fast? You can't
Cover your running
You're not
back. I
having
don't know.
Lineup Parsons.
Why not? Why wouldn't you put a?
I don't know.
You're not going to put a Van Ginkel out there and just let
You're a Van.
Some of those guys are going to go both ways. I'm not sure how many they're going to have on the roster.
Shoot.
I mean, I wouldn't have
some
any
research.
defensive tackles out there, but you could have a side-to-side linebacker that kind of covers a. Is there going to be tight ends?
Well, it depends on who the tight end is.
Well, I'm asking.
Yeah.
Who's the fastest, young, most athletic tight end? Older tight ends are white and old right now. The best ones in the league.
Sam Laporta.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
He's not old.
Kittle.
But Mark
Kittle.
Andrews, Kittle, Andrews,
Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Bowers. Ooh, okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. Okay. We'll wrap the show up with this. Our 2025 Olympic team. If we had to put our 2025 Olympic team right out there, the aliens just came. Okay. They came from the future. They're here and they're like,
Make it down 3 years from now.
the world.
From now.
Yeah. If they're going to take our world for our resources, our yes, and our women and some of our kids, unless we beat them at flag. So we have to put the stacked flag team right now today. Two quarterbacks, 3 receivers, 2 running backs, and 2 defensive players right now. I got Lamar Jackson as my receiver. You guys can kind of jump in there.
That's back, you dummy.
But he's.
I'm just putting the team together.
Well,
You said Lamar is
Justin Jefferson.
Oh.
He's got Lamar Jackson, a quarterback. Justin Jefferson at
sorry, I
wide
got
out.
Jefferson. I got
And one wide
Tyreek
out.
Hill for sure.
Tyreek.
Is it today receiver? We need
yeah.
third receiver. Claypool or Speed? I like Chase.
Ooh,
Jamar Chase.
Oh, I'm like, okay. Jamar Chase,
Yeah.
freak. What about a Puka Nakua? What about these other guys?
Yes, I might like Puka as my third.
Yeah.
Do you know I bet Puka played like high school quarterback and stuff?
Yeah.
He's like a little Gadsby.
Like an Edelman.
You know, that's a good one. Okay, we got our 3 receivers. We need 2 running backs. I think you got to go Christian
You got to go Christian.
And then you go safety.
Is he healed? Is he able to?
We don't got better option right now in 2025.
Bijan maybe.
Jamar Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs is sweet.
Oh, Gibbs.
He can catch, bro.
Gibbs.
Man, I like
Gibbs.
I like Jaleel McLaughlin right here in our different Broncos.
Hey, for once, hey,
Like your DeAndre Jordan.
Catch out of the backfield. You can't cover him one-on-one.
time out. Hey, for 1 second. Now tell me. Now tell me.
You're covering up my heart.
He's trying to not piss off
down my heart.
Walter Penn Group.
No, Walton Penner. Close.
My bad.
No tight ends.
No tight end. No tight end.
Took out no tight end.
No.
Two defensive players. Pat Surtain
Yeah.
and
Riley Moss.
Stop it.
Jadae Barron?
no. You got to today. Just
Hey.
damn. Give me another corner linebacker.
How about Cooper DeJean? Pick 6 in the
That'd be. I'm in.
Good.
Did I say DeJean? I was going French.
That's
DeJean.
French.
Excuse me, sir. Is that the Grey Poupon?
Well,
It's Dijon.
that's a little banger of a pick segment there. So can comment and hit us with their own takes. Their own
Yeah,
dream
who do
team.
you like?
Who's your 2025 dream team? And then you got to project a little bit to the 2028. But that's good stuff. Last thing, Tush Push was not
And
Yeah.
20
crazy.
votes they had. They needed
Jerry
24
Jones.
of the owners' votes. They
How did
needed
he
20.
vote?
Oh, cancel that thing. Get
Yeah,
that Tush
Jerry
Push.
Jones said no. Tush Push.
Teams try to do it. You can't do it quite like the Eagles.
Broncos.
Well, there you go. It's a Jalen thing. It's a
They're great.
teammate.
Josh
thing.
Allen
It's
thing.
Josh Allen's is just.
Although they
guys.
fell. They had an epic fell.
Both those two are the teams that do
2 times.
And Mahomes and the
I know,
Chiefs are a little
it's
more
funny.
creative on the goal line, I guess, than
Yeah.
just Tush pushing. But
Pro
Mark,
Tush or anti?
yeah, you got to stop. It's a play. Stop.
Pro Tush push?
Push.
I'm anti Tush.
Push.
He's anti-Tush.
Nah,
You're anti-tush in the push.
Yes, like
be illegal. I mean, I like to push in the bush. You know,
Yeah.
Step on the foods and you might get tushed from around the way.
Hey,
Is that Coolio? I don't know. Either way,
Jeff said what?
I like.
I just
What?
I don't know. I don't think it's football. It looks like rugby to me.
All right.
Just like the way I think the Oklahoma City Thunder play basketball doesn't look like basketball. to
Hey,
me.
sounds like a bitter NFC guy who can't stop it.
Football
Minnesota
looks
Vikings.
like off like Russ football does. They carry a ball and they get tackled.
What do you think? So
What
you
do you
think
think?
you
Are
should
you
just be able to
I
get
think,
behind
yeah.
the
For or
push,
against?
Hey,
3 extra feet?
stop it. Stop my tush push.
Do you know what?
I don't
But let's
know.
end the show. We'll
Didn't
run
it
the
used to
tush
be
push.
illegal? Didn't it used to be illegal? I felt like
That you can.
Let's
Hey,
run the tush push right now. Line up here. I'll get behind you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, guys.
All right.
I don't know. We have enough court.
Yeah, that was a joke. That has been episode 7 of the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. We got a lot of stuff in here. We're in the midst here of the NBA Conference Finals. We're on the cusp of the Broncos 2025 season, kind of dropping, kind of launch.
Less than 100 days.
I'm loving that people are getting behind the Broncos. I like when I hear people thinking the Broncos are going to be an 8-win kind of outfit and kind of are still in the process of getting to, a perennial playoff contending team.
Yeah.
Nuggets head coach, we're waiting for one. Front office executive, we're waiting for one. Trade rumors with the MPJs and the Jamal Murrays, I'm here for it.
Maybe
Rockies-
Christian Blunt.
It's about to be June. Rockies have 10 wins. It's about to be June. 10
All right,
wins. June. And the Avalanche here are sitting and watching a Dallas team that should and could have been them. It's fickle to go down that road, scary to say it should have been them. But Dallas is the truth too. Miko, in the end, was the difference. Where is this going to take us? It's going to take us to episode 8, which we're looking forward to. So for Mark Jackson, for Jeff Gersh, I like that Stanford stuff. We spent a little time in the Palo Alto area. No big deal here. But we appreciate you guys and we love you guys. Good night, Sheila.
Good night.
Good night.
I'll never forget today.